Well, guys, it's over. Finally, the disaster that was the Kansas City Chiefs 2012 season has finally come to an end. We can all celebrate the offseason because offseason is going to be the most exciting time for Chiefs fans, which is laughably depressing to even say out loud. But I have some more depressing stats for you guys, so most of you should be excited because the season's over. But if you are for the faint of heart, you can't take any more bad news or bad stats, I would not watch the rest of this video. The Kansas City Chiefs 2012 team will go down as the least competitive team in franchise history. The point differential of -214 is the worst in the 52-year proud franchise of this team. Even more depressing than that, the last 4 years for the Kansas City Chiefs, also known as Scott Piolo's tenure in Kansas City, the Chiefs have put out 3 of the 4 least competitive teams, according to point differential, in franchise history. I'll let that sink in a little bit. 2011, -126. 2009, -130. And then this season, 2012, -214. Those are 3 of the 4 worst seasons in Kansas City Chiefs history. It's one thing to argue just wins and losses because, you know, the old Bill Parcells, you are what your record says you are, and if you want to just make a complete basis for any kind of an argument over success, that's what you use it on, because wins and losses are the only thing that matters. But when looking at whether somebody is doing their job or not, you could make excuses if a team goes 2-14 but loses their games by 3 points or 7 points or even 10 points, that they're competitive. You can argue, you know, game management within the game, or that one player that you're trying to upgrade, or this one guy needs to make a big play, and that'll make the difference between a win and a loss. But when 3 of the 4 years you're in charge and your teams aren't even competitive, and they're 3 of the worst 4 teams as far as being competitive in franchise history, there is no getting beyond that. There's no, argue this one player or that one player. You can talk about the quarterback position, but it goes further than that. And I don't think that you can defend anything regarding any individual pick when you look at the body of work as a whole, and 4 years is long enough to determine whether somebody did a good job or not. When they're historically bad numbers, there's nothing else that you can say. Kansas City deserves better than this. Chiefs fans deserve better than this. And Clark Hunt's decisions over the next 24 to 48 hours, even within the next week, will resonate with Chiefs fans probably for as long as they live, because good or bad, if Clark Hunt decides to stick with a guy that's produced 3 of the 4 worst teams in franchise history, Chiefs fans won't forget that. But they also won't forget him putting his foot down and making the decision when it was time to make that decision, and it's time to make that decision.